In Germany right now we have record temperatures, and I welcome you to another brand new episode of Beyond Meat Mondays. And I'm telling you that those Beyond Meat frozen patties in those record hot temperatures in Germany has a really cooling benefit. If you are truly happy that Beyond Meat Mondays is back, make sure to show it to me and absolutely crash that like button. And those are the topics for today's episode. We will talk about the Beyond Meat stock. We will look into the development over the last couple of weeks and days. Then we will look into the chart to see if there's new channels or new trends that you should be aware of. And then obviously we will look into the super growth Q2 earnings. What was good, what was bad, we are looking into it. And then we will look also in really ridiculous Goldman Sachs rating and stock price target. I'm very happy to explain it to you that those analysts' opinions sometimes are a little bit crazy, all right? And then we will talk about the new partner, Pizza Hut in Puerto Rico. So with that said, vamos! Alright, let's dive into Beyond Meat stock. And as we didn't had many Beyond Meat episodes, we are actually looking not only into the week's performance, but the month's performance. Let's have a look into the month's performance. First, because this is, a little bit of an outlook into the overall situation, how the performance even due to the Q2 and after the Q2, and as you can see we almost stayed flat. So people were not so amused by the more operational costs in the Q2, which we will talk about in later on this vlog. But as you can see, we had the run up to even 142, but we never really dropped that much below 120. So there's a big resistance for the stock where people can buy now if they are thinking long term. This is a fantastic stock, currently sitting at the market cap of $7.8 billion, a fantastic growth. And if we're looking into just the last week, we had some not so good performance with minus 4.83%. All in all, I see that the Beyond Meat stock has now a couple of quarters to prove their further growth. With this health crisis, also them were affected with, restaurants are closing and they have to refocus on the grocery stores. And I believe they have still a bright future. Nothing changed on my bull thesis, and I'm slowly but surely always observe my position. It's not that this is one of my biggest positions, but it's about 8 to 10% of my portfolio. So I'm definitely having always an eye out for the Beyond Meat community out there, and I'm always happy that this stock we could buy. If you follow this channel, I went into around 85, 90-ish dollars, so we are pretty nicely up already, which I'm happy for. And my goal is to beat the S&P 500 with every stock that I have in the portfolio, and this should be the case also in the next couple of weeks and months with Beyond Meat. The chart of Beyond Meat, and as you can see here, what we drew a couple of weeks ago still is standing, okay? Especially here, the resistance line around 160. Apparently this was built through the period of about, I would say, the summer of 2019. As you can see, we jumped just below up this resistance line, and then you see this resistance line then was the total recent highest point that we can see Beyond Meat actually hitting and then going downwards from there. Still, we are in the channel of 109, which I believe is a resistance, as well as somewhere around this levels here, between 120, 125. You can consider here a resistance line as well. And then you can see that I think the stock can go here sideways until the next earnings, and depending on those numbers and the further numbers in the future, if nothing changes, then I think it's just a matter of time when those numbers will be broken here at 159 levels. So 160 is the resistance that we need to break out to see higher levels here at Beyond Meat. Also, as another resistance, you have here the 50 moving average that is also bouncing around the 120 mark. So a good bottom here. So actually it's a pretty good timing to buy some shares of Beyond Meat. As you can see, the stock is very young on the stock market, so you cannot put that much of analytics here of the long-term chart, but it's always just a kind of indication what could happen. Here we saw definitely more selling in the last couple of weeks here since the peak in June, where the stock reached 160 levels. But overall, I think the picture is pretty well in this kind of environment, and therefore, they had the opportunity. I think a lot of consumer change happened. There's always, obviously, also the taste factor there, guys. I just had also some family members and friends testing Beyond Meat. They were not so happy like I was with this product, but they are also not vegan or anything like that, so they are not yet of an kind of market group for those companies. So therefore, I think this is interesting to know where the channel is currently at. We are still intact in here, even though we haven't updated here since a couple of weeks, but still, we are in a good shape here with the stock. I bought somewhere at the 90 level, so I'm pretty happy with the outcome for a couple of months, and I think that Beyond Meat really has the chance to triple or 4x or 5x that amount that they are trading yet, because they have just a huge potential. More and more people will discover Beyond Meat for themselves, and it's a great alternative, and there's more and more partners as well. So it's a very young successful growth story, and it will continue in the next couple of months. So if you believe in this story as well, make sure to check it out, and I believe that this is something that you should look into if you are considering vegan food as a new market here, highly growth market. I think it is. Let me know in the comments what you think. Before we diving into the earnings, I would like you to check out the Wolf of Dubai membership community. I mean, there are very a lot of smart and like-minded people in there already, and you don't want to be late because it's always developing, and at some point we have to obviously close this community and don't accept any new members because it will be just too big and not too exclusive anymore. So therefore, check out the join button below all my videos and live streams, and you can be part of the best community out there in the YouTube stock investing world. You can get access to the Discord chat, or you can even have one-on-one with me. You can talk about stocks, we can talk about your portfolio, we can talk about the economy, whatever is important for you. It's real one-on-one writing with me anytime you want. So let's dive into the Q2 earnings, because they were on the one side fantastic, absolutely fantastic, what I expect by Beyond Meat, an amazing growth. I mean, let's look into those numbers. Okay, so the Beyond Meat US grocery sales soared 195% almost. Okay, so this is absolutely fantastic. This is numbers that you want to have with your growth stock. Okay, if this continues at the time, there's no question that this stock is going up on the long term. Okay, this is normal logical thinking, and as more and more you are going this way, as more and more the stock goes up, and moreover you have more advantages with Beyond Meat, because Beyond Meat has already the attention of so many out there that know knowing the stock already, and if they see, you know, this growth of the stock, they will jump and have FOMO, and therefore your stock holdings get even higher and higher. The short sellers has to cover their shorts and so on. So as you can see, it will be quite interesting way to go up. And as you can see here, what is also important, that the food industry with Beyond Meat had a real challenge out there, okay? For all the food industry, it was the question what we will do with our revenue in restaurants. And you know, the CEO said something very nicely. He said, you know, we could look at it and, you know, wait what will happen, or we can invest further and shift our main focus on grocery stores. And this was the right decision, even though it costed more to do this and repackage a lot of products. It's really long term, because we don't know how long it will, you know, last, this health crisis. It was the right decision. And obviously they were not so much good into the outlook of 2020 and 2021. So everything, it's more, you know, slowly of an outlook. But I think, you know, personally, that with those growth numbers, this was definitely sandbagging those earnings. So the stock went down 7% after the earnings. But here are more numbers. Beyond reported a second quarter loss of about 10.2 million, which was about 16 cents per share. Then we had the net sales. The overall revenue rose almost 70%, guys. 70%, more than expected by any people on Wall Street here. We made about $113 million versus the $100 million that was expected. This is a 13% increase. And otherwise, you know, there was the cost of $5.9 million to repackage, to, you know, shift into the right direction. So all in all, you know, I think it was a fantastic quarter, and I'm super happy to be still investor into this company. Okay guys, and let me tell you about the ridiculous Goldman Sachs rating on Beyond Meat. Okay, so this same analyst, he actually thought that it's definitely good in March to upgrade the stock from around 40, 50 to over 100. And now the stock reached those targets, and he's saying, well, we are putting a neutral or hold rating from buy, and put the target price for the stock from 125 to 40. Well, this is so ridiculous. In my personal opinion, you know, you cannot really count on those analysts, because, you know, it seems like how can a company change its fundamental value that an analyst can say something like this? I don't know, maybe you can let me know in the comments below. In my personal opinion, the Beyond Meat stock can easily become a $50 billion stock in the next couple of years to come, and therefore my personal target is somewhere around 780, and this is, you know, a good number for that today's thumbnail. That's why I chose that. Therefore I think that, you know, don't listen too much to this analyst, don't listen too much to this voices and noises on the stock market, because it's important that you follow the fundamentals as well as the growth of a company, and then see how the market reacts. And if a company continues to grow, the stock will eventually follow. For Beyond Meat, it's important that they will gain more and more partners. Now, they are getting now a new partner in Puerto Rico, Pizza Hut. You might know Pizza Hut because Pizza Hut is one of the big fast food guys out there, and they are testing the Beyond Meat sausage and the Beyond Meat sausage pizza, both of a nice, very vegan alternatives to real meat. And therefore I think this is a fantastic gain into the portfolio, because most of those partnerships that are created with Beyond Meat are actually ending up with long-term clients. And therefore I believe this is super fantastic, so positive news here.